Every winter, millions of drivers reach into their trunk, clip a jump starter to a dead battery and get absolutely nothing. Not a click, not a crank, just silence. And here is the thing. It is not their car battery that failed them. It is their jump starter. The market is flooded with units promising 2,000, 3,000, even 4,000 peak amps for under $40. And get this? Most of them will be completely dead after sitting in a cold trunk for just a few months because cheap lithium cells self-discharge in the cold and never recover. Here is what the product listing will not tell you. Peak amps and cold cranking amps are not the same thing. Translation: a unit screaming 2,000 peak amps may deliver a fraction of that at 15 degrees. Peak amps measure a momentary surge under ideal conditions. Cold cranking amps measure sustained output at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The brands hiding behind the first number are counting on you never learning the difference. Bottom line, buying the wrong jump starter does not just waste your money, it leaves you stranded in the dark, in the cold, with a paperweight clipped to your terminals. Today we are exposing 3 brands to pull off your list immediately and revealing 6 that have actually earned the right to sit in your trunk. Stick around until the end because the final brand has been doing this since 1947 and still publishes the one spec most brands are too afraid to print. Brands to avoid. Brand to avoid. Number 1. Scatash. Scatash arrived on Amazon with aggressive specs. 3,000 peak amps, capable of starting a 9-liter gas engine 50 times on a single charge. On paper, it looks professional. In practice, it belongs in the trash. Nearly 10% of all Scatash reviews are 1 star. 10% for a safety device. Multiple units arrived dead out of the box. Others failed after a single use. Customers report clamps that are structurally defective, buttons that fall inside the casing, and a battery that will not hold a charge. The real kicker is the engineering, or the complete absence of it. No battery management system, no thermal protection, no mechanism to prevent cold temperature self-discharge. And get this, when customers tried to get support, they were met with silence. At 15 degrees Fahrenheit, you clip these clamps onto your dead battery and get nothing. Not a spark, just a frozen parking lot and a call to roadside assistance. Bottom line, a paperweight dressed in safety orange packaging. Impressive on the shelf. Invisible when it matters. But if you think Scatash is bad, the next brand has the audacity to sit on Walmart's shelves and call itself a solution. Brand to avoid. Number 2. EverStart. EverStart is Walmart's house brand. Eye-level shelf space in thousands of stores, positioned right next to the batteries you are replacing. Millions of drivers grab it assuming that if Walmart sells it, it must work. That assumption has left a lot of people stranded. Here is the thing. Despite Walmart's massive foot traffic, most EverStart models have fewer than 1,000 total reviews. Damning for a product with that kind of retail exposure. The most common complaint across every model is identical. The internal battery arrives dead, will not recharge, and will not jump a car. The why is chemistry. EverStart uses outdated lead acid and low-grade lithium cells with no thermal management. Standard lithium-ion cells left in a cold trunk through winter temperature swings will self-discharge to 0 over weeks. There is nothing standing between your emergency and a dead unit. The scenario plays out like this. You buy it in November, feel prepared, throw it in your trunk. February hits, your battery dies at 20 degrees, you grab your EverStart, and it has less usable charge than the battery you're trying to jump. Bottom line, budget packaging over. Borrowed time. Every month it sits in your trunk is a month closer to abandoning you in a frozen parking lot. The next brand to avoid does not even have the excuse of being cheap. It has just been coasting on a legacy it stopped earning decades ago. Brand to avoid. Number 3. Stanley Power Station Models. Stanley is a name that used to mean something. Their jump starter power station combos ride that legacy hard. Big units, lots of features, authoritative black and yellow branding. Here is the thing. Legacy does not start your car in January. These units weigh around 20 pounds and carry significant out-of-the-box charge failure reports directly on Stanley's own product page. 1-star reviews consistently describe units that arrived uncharged and would not hold a charge. But here is where it gets truly desperate. The core technology is lead-acid battery chemistry. In 2026, lead-acid batteries lose 30 to 40% of cranking capacity when temperatures drop below freezing. Translation: the unit is already compromised the moment winter arrives before it ever self-discharges in a cold trunk. And get this, the feature add-ons make it worse. Every time the inverter or air compressor draws power, it depletes the reserve you need for an actual cold start. The more features Stanley packed in, the less reliable the one feature that matters became. Bottom line, the Pompeii of portable power. A once respected name buried under outdated chemistry and feature bloat nobody asked for. Now here is where it gets truly interesting. For every brand that fails you, there is one engineered specifically to not. If this is already saving you from a costly mistake, hit that like button and subscribe, because we do this every single week. Brands that actually work. Reliable brand. Number 1, Noco. Noco did not become the gold standard of portable jump starters by accident. When Project Farm ran a head-to-head jump starter comparison, Noco came out on top. When a Canadian AAA technician, someone performing battery work in sub-zero conditions daily, was asked what he personally recommends, he said Noco. When independent 2026 testing measured the GBX 155 Boost X, it produced 10,816 watts of verified output. Not marketing numbers, tested numbers from people with nothing to sell you. The real kicker is the engineering. Spark-proof clamps prevent accidental arcing damage to your vehicle's electronics. Built-in reverse polarity protection means a panicked, frozen, wrong connection will not fry your electrical system. The water-resistant rubberized casing stays pliable and grippy in the cold, unlike budget plastic housings that crack in freezing temperatures. And get this, when your hands are shaking at midnight in a parking lot, the difference between a unit that grips and one that slips is the difference between 10 seconds and 20 minutes. Bottom line, the KPM, North Star of cold start reliability. Every mechanic who works in winter keeps one within arm's reach. Reliable brand number 2, Hulkman Alpha 85S. Hulkman is the newcomer that knocked out veterans. The Alpha 85S was independently ranked the number 1 jump starter for winter emergencies in 2025. Not by their marketing department, but by professional testers running real cold weather comparisons. 2,000 amps of peak output, IP65 dust and water resistance, 90-minute fast charging. Here is the thing, IP65 rating means rain, sleet, and road spray will not compromise the unit mid-jump. Most budget units carry no weather rating at all. Translation, the moment it starts raining during a roadside emergency, budget units become a liability. The Alpha 85S does not care. And get this, 90-minute fast charge means forgetting to charge it is a recoverable situation. An 8-hour charge at 6:45 a.m. is not. Bottom line, bulletproof engineering in a unit small enough for a glove box. The Alpha 85S does not blink in the cold. Have you ever had a jump starter completely fail you in the cold? Drop your story in the comments. We read every single one. Reliable brand number 3, Claw Automotive Jump and Carry. Claw Automotive does not advertise on Instagram. They sell to professional repair shops, and those shops have been buying the same units for decades because they do not need to replace them. A JNC 770R used daily in an independent repair shop went 2 full years of continuous professional use without needing replacement. The JNC 325 outputs 2,000 amps with professional-grade long jumper cables designed for real-world engine bay access. Here is the thing. In a professional shop, failure is not an option. Claw builds to that standard, not to the standard of an Amazon return window. Bottom line, the gold standard for anyone who actually turns wrenches for a living. 30 years of professional trust does not happen by accident. Reliable brand number 4, Gulu. Gulu is the brand that makes you do a double take. 4,000 peak amps, capable of starting any gas engine and diesels up to 10 liters. A list price of $170 that regularly drops to under $100, and a 15-year veteran automotive technician chose this one for his partner's daily driver. The GP4000 is a verified Amazon bestseller. The GP2000 was named Best Value with 80+ watt-hours of battery capacity in independent 2026 testing. The real kicker, independent testers confirmed Gulu's output claims match their actual real-world performance. In a category filled with units that advertise 2,000 peak amps and deliver 600 under load, a brand that delivers what it promises is genuinely exceptional. Bottom line, the everyman's workhorse. Unglamorous, undefeated, and always ready when your battery gives up in the cold. Reliable brand number 5, Wolfbox. Wolfbox appeared quietly, no heritage, no celebrity endorsements, and stacked 2 units in Amazon's top 10 bestsellers simultaneously. Every single model on Walmart's website holds a 5-star rating. Road & Track verified the MV24 4000 amp model, consistently starting a notoriously stubborn V8 engine. That does not happen by gaming reviews. It happens by building a unit that works. Here is the thing, Wolfbox's dedicated boost mode is the feature that separates it from most competitors. Most jump starters refuse to engage when a target battery is too far discharged because safety circuits interpret a severely dead battery as a fault. Translation: the scenario most likely to happen overnight in freezing temperatures is the exact scenario most jump starters are programmed to refuse. Wolfbox boost mode bypasses that threshold, -15 degrees. Battery dead flat overnight. Instead of giving up, it delivers the output anyway. Bottom line, a dark horse that punches like a heavyweight. Wolfbox is the brand the old guard did not see coming. Reliable brand. Number 6. Schumacher Electric. Schumacher Electric was founded in 1947, nearly 80 years of American power innovation. And while every other brand hides behind inflated peak amp numbers, Schumacher publishes the one spec that actually matters: cold cranking amps. The DSR 165 Pro series outputs 525 cranking amps and 350 cold cranking amps, a published CCA figure almost no competitor will print. Cold cranking amps are measured at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, the exact condition you face in a real winter emergency, and the number is almost always far lower than the peak amp figure brands prefer to advertise. Publishing it means you are willing to be held to the standard that matters, that is, engineering confidence. And get this, the DSR 165 is a top seller at AutoZone, Advance Auto Parts, and Walmart simultaneously. A retail trifecta built on genuine trust. 60-inch color-coded cables, AGM battery, 12-volt outlet, and a built-in alternator testing function. Translation: Schumacher does not just start your car, it diagnoses what killed it. Bottom line, nearly 80 years of American power innovation. Schumacher does not need to fake its specs because the real numbers are already impressive enough. The jumpstarter market is a battlefield between legitimate engineering and clever marketing. 3 brands today are winning sales with fake numbers and outdated chemistry. 6 are winning with real cold cranking amps, quality cells, and the confidence to publish the spec others refuse to print. Before you buy any jumpstarter, ask one question. Does this unit publish its cold cranking amp rating? Not peak amps, not equivalent amps. Actual cold cranking. Amps at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. If the brand cannot answer that, answer it for them by buying one of the 6 on this list. Hit subscribe if you want the truth about the gear that actually keeps you moving in 2026. And if this video just saved you from a costly mistake, that like button is right there and it costs you nothing.